This is CGTN Radio. Hear the difference.
Examining the events that impact and shape China and the rest of the world. This is the Beijing 1 hour of news and information brought to you every weekday. Now here's your host.
Dane Bigham with you on this Tuesday, August 30th, 2022. You're listening to the Beijing Hour, live from the Chinese capital. On today's program, Afghanistan's marking 1 year since the withdrawal of U.S. troops from the country. Pakistan's climate ministers warned of a national security disaster after weeks of deadly monsoon rains and flooding. And temperatures in southwest China have dropped significantly following a record-breaking heat wave. In business, the China International Fair for Trade and Services. In sports, Chinese qualifiers' historic win at the U.S. Open. In culture and entertainment, the Mid-Autumn Festival Gala. Now the day's top stories. August 30th marks 1 year since the U.S. pullout from Afghanistan. Reporter Joe Jashin has been working in Afghanistan for a few weeks now, and here are some of his experiences.
The UN says that the food insecurity is affecting about 19 million people here, nearly half the population of the Afghanistan. But when you come here, you get this humanitarian situation so real. So we start our assignment early this month by visiting a family at Kabul's one of the largest camp for the internal displaced personnel, IDPs. And the family of Nuzula, Father Ford, told us that the family could only earn about $70 a month by collecting swill for cows. And they cannot find any other job at all. And sometimes the food is not enough. And that is the situation reflecting about more than 3.5 million IDPs in the country. And they're really facing the difficulties in food, water, health, education, and jobs. And the labor market has deteriorated significantly over the past year, not just only because of the political shift of the Taliban government, but also because of the abrupt withdrawal of the U.S. forces and the following major sanctions that halted a lot of major infrastructure projects and disrupted value chain involving about 700,000 people. And we also know that the basic prices for some of the food, including the flour and oil, has doubled, and that also makes a lot of people faced with the food insecurity. And also, we know that a lot of people are facing with the unemployment, and the purchasing power is vanishing.
That was Joe Jashin reporting from Afghanistan. Well, Taliban's still working on steering Afghanistan out of its domestic and international struggles. Sean Clobes reports on the situation there today.
Afghanistan, a tribal nation, a cultural mosaic, unified by its religion, a poor nation trying to find its footing in a modern world, while its government faces criticism from abroad. The Taliban easily swept into power and controls the country. The United States is gone, but its footprint is everywhere. Its guns, its uniforms, its armored vehicles left behind, and now finding use in the hands of a former enemy. Giant blast walls outside what was the U.S. Embassy have been painted over with pro-Taliban slogans. The world watched as the U.S. retreated to the Kabul airport, fumbling its way through a messy and hasty withdrawal. Today, it is a ghostly reminder of what was left behind. Abdul Hadi Hamdan is now the Minister of Aviation. A year ago, he was at the gates of the airport, in charge of Taliban fighters.
The day when the American forces left the country, I remember it very well. That is our historical day, and we will celebrate it. It is not just for the Islamic Emirates Mujahideen, but a happy day, a prideful day for all true Afghan Muslims. We must never forget it.
There are some, like Zabiullah Hotat, that cannot forget that day, no matter how hard he tries.
It is so hard for me. My heart is crying now. But I don't let my tears come out because there are children around and my cousins, and they will start crying as well.
You may not know him, but there is a good chance you know about his brother. He was one of those who made the fatal decision to cling to a U.S. military plane leaving the nation. Potok says his brother was always secretive about his job and suspects his brother was working for the United States and feared what would happen as the Taliban seized control of the country.
I got busy looking at my phone and lost him in the crowd. Just like that, he was close to the wing, and then the accident happened.
The death certificate simply reads, falling from plane. The last U.S. plane left nearly a year ago, and with it, the last American troops, ending a 20-year effort to bring peace and democracy to Afghanistan. The Taliban is now fully in control, however, ostracized by many nations around the world, and with widespread poverty and a nation facing a severe hunger crisis, keeping some 40 million people content will be yet another battle.
That was Sean Caleb's reporting.